Hey guys, back with another SuperCoach video, and it was a decent week for the side. I thought, to be honest, that my side was well below the mark compared to everyone else, but it seems like everyone else was around the, 2,150 to 2,250 range. So I'll take it. Scored 2,181, moved up just over 1,000 spots, still sitting outside the top 10k after that horrible round 4, which is disappointing, but hopefully we can start working our way up the rankings. And I won just the one league matchup, but it was in Shorty's league, so I'll definitely take that. So let's move on to the team. So here's the team. In defense, Jake Lloyd, he was solid again, 37 touches. His efficiency was a bit lower than usual, which kept his score down a bit. Jack Crisp, he was really good, 27 touches and 9 marks, and his kicking was really good throughout the game, so it's good to see him at his best, and hopefully he can keep up that form. Zach Williams, he was solid with the 27 touches. Darcy Moore will take a 79, but again, like last week, he was on track for a ton at halftime, but he had another quiet second half. Not as quiet as last week, but still a quiet second half, but you can't really blame him because Collingwood did smash Brisbane and the ball didn't go into defence that much. But yeah, we'll take a 79 for sure. Dursmill was good, kicked a couple of goals. And Wilkie, he was good again, but I did lose 30 points fielding him over Marty Hoare. It was out of those two, and of course I picked the wrong one. I was always going to field Dursma, so yes, he did get less than Wilkie, but I wasn't considering putting him on the bench. So the loss of 30 points, that sucks, but at least we're getting good cash gen out of those guys. And Marty Hoare, really good stuff. 20 touches and 13 marks. Can't ask for much more. And Jordan Clark, a bit quiet again. Looks like he might need a rest, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Zach Tui come in for him. In the midfield, Paddy Cripps as captain. He was good, but of course for a captain, you would have liked a much better score from him. He had 37 touches, but 32 of those were handballs, and he wasn't as influential as he usually is, so that definitely explains just the 110. Lachie Neale, his first real quiet game of the season, didn't really influence the game much, and most of his stats came during junk time, so that helped make his way to a 91. Matt Crouch was solid. Stephen Canelio was good, getting a lot of the footy, but just needs to improve his efficiency a bit. Tom Liberatore was good. Walsh, he's been unbelievable. His last 3 scores, 112, 123, and 112. And this guy, he's only played 5 games and he's already been this good. It's unbelievable. And now he's up to over 400k. Will Setterfield, used as the loop for Sydney Stacks, 80. He was really good. Bailey Scott, chose to field him over Atkins, and that lost me 22 points as well. So again, just the loss of points from the rookies, the little 50-50 decisions have cost me a few points. In hindsight, definitely should have fielded Stack and looped Scott and Atkins. So that was a terrible decision. Bailey Scott, though, doesn't seem to get enough game time, and he's not getting enough time in the midfield either, but his break even of 11 will probably be enough for me to keep him in the side for another week. Atkins, he's had a solid couple of weeks, and of course Charlie Constable was rested. In the rucks, Brodie Grundy, not a massive game, but still ton, which is good, and Max Gawn, he absolutely dominated in a poor Melbourne side. And in the forward line, Paddy Dangerfield spent a lot of time forward, but he was still good. Isaac Heaney will take a 98. Tim Kelly, he was really good. One of Geelong's best, that's for sure. Chipped in with a couple of goals as well. It's good to see him bounce back strong after last week's 39. The trade in, Rowan Marshall, really disappointing. Didn't expect another 110 against Gawn, but definitely didn't expect a 50. Connor Rosie got injured early, but came back and recovered well for a decent score. Willem Drew, really good. Going to make some more great cash in the next couple of weeks. And Matt Parker on the bench, quiet again. Only just beat his break even, and his break even stayed a bit high as well. And Noah Bolter finally goes up in price, but now with Jack Riewoldt set to come back against Melbourne, we'll have to see who makes way for him. So that is the team for vice captain and captain this round. I'm thinking Max Gawn as vice, going up against Toby Nankervis, and a captain, we'll give it to Lachie Neale for now. I think the Lions will bounce back against Gold Coast. Big match, Q Clash. Both teams have been pretty good this season, so that should be a good one, and I feel like Lachie Neale will have a big game. Paddy Cripps is also in consideration, but we'll give the captaincy to Lachie Neale for now. And Bailey Scott, you can go to the bench. And Setterfield off for Constable. We could loop Stack and Atkins as well, with Richmond playing on Wednesday. For trades this week, I'm thinking Matt Parker out. His break-even's now in the 40s, and I'm not sure how much cash he has left to make. Knowing my luck, he'll probably score a 90 this week, but I just don't feel like he has much more cash to make, which is unfortunate. And the second trade, I think it's Connor Rosie's time to go. I think his break-even's in the 70s now, so that's definitely not much more cash to make. But I've got 693k in the bank. Jack Ross is one I'd consider trading in, but I'm not sure about his job security with Trent Cotchin coming back soon. Plus, if he stays in the side, what role will he play as well? That's something to consider. And there's also Liam Baker. I really like how he's gone so far, getting a lot of the footy and scoring well, averaging 89 right now in the couple games that he's played. He's a little more pricey compared to the basement rookies, but he should make some good cash if he can continue the form he's in. He's playing a good role, pressure forward, scoring well. And the second guy, I was highly considering Rory Laird, but I'm not quite sold on him at the moment. Scoring's a bit down, and I feel like he'll still have a bit to drop. So right now I'm considering a pod in Michael Walters. I did talk about him during the pre-season, and besides that 150 that he got against Gold Coast, he has been really good. 4 tons in 5 games, led the way against the Giants. Of course, he has a history of injuries and burnt me last year, but I don't know, I just feel like you gotta take some risks, especially in the situation I'm in after being in the top 2k, dropping down outside the top 10k now. I just feel like you gotta take some risks to try and get back up in the rankings, and with only 3% at the moment owning Walters, I feel like it's a risk worth taking. It only leaves me with 18.2k, which is unfortunate, but I'd say I've made a couple of upgrades to the side. So here's how the team will look this week. I've got Drew in the mids, Setterfield there on field to be the captain's loophole if I need it, and Liam Baker on the bench as emergency. I'll consider shuffling things around. I don't have much time to consider, but I feel like any last second decision I'll make will be the wrong one, so I'll probably stick with this. And of course I've got Marty Hoare on field in defense, but this will most likely be the team I run with going into round 6. So before I end off the video, take a look at league matchups. In my own league, took my first loss against Nicholas. Of course, fielding the wrong rookies cost me, but I don't think it would have been enough to get me the win. And in Shorty's league, I thought I was screwed, but somehow managed to win. And you definitely take wins like this, especially in a league where everyone's so good. And this week, I'm taking on Shorty, and I don't think I've beaten him the couple times we've versed in this league, so hopefully things can change this season. But yeah, that will do it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.